My name is Keith McGlon. I am 38 years old, and I moved to Fort Worth to take my XTO contract last year. I've seen other speeches, and I think the people did a great job, but because everybody started from their youth, I'm going to start from right now. So before I was in Fort Worth, I spent time in Tulsa, Oklahoma for about 5-7 years, strictly contracting ever since 2001 after the 9/11 layoffs. I kind of grew accustomed to it. You face these challenges at every place to learn that environment, get the job done, and move on, and that's exciting. It is completely exciting and fulfilling to see that you not only do it, but you bring the project in earlier than scheduled, or under budget, or just whatever you can bring to it is very fulfilling. So it was a very natural fit for me to take a contract like XTO, because XTO was jumping into new technology and moving forward. So I digress a little bit. Before that, I actually was an accountant. I did accounting for Love's Country Stores, a popular chain. You have a few in Texas. I did accounting specifically for the lottery. So the lottery is really complicated because it doesn't fit the normal accounting model. And the challenge that I was presented with from the CFO was simple. Never let me write off $1.4 million again, and you got a job. Very simple, but a lot of pressure. So during that time, I enjoyed the aspects of how accounting translates to IT, and a lot of people don't see it, but in accounting you chase perfection defined by a penny. In IT you chase perfection defined by performance. So very easy correlation for me, and they saw that I was very interested and pulled me into technology. Very rough introduction to the technology field. It involved cabling, computer setup, server integration, some internet work, and I had pretty bad pay doing it. So it was good. So as we move on beyond that, you would have saw me come out of high school, and I did this very interesting cycle. I would go to school when I started hating my job. I would stop school when I found a job I liked. Eventually I'd start hating that job, and I'd go back to school. So it was a seesaw of education and work, which left me really well vetted for the accounting that I was doing, but it didn't complete the degree, and it didn't solidify me in the industry the way I wanted to be. So rewinding beyond that, you'll go back to high school. I was actually a 3-year graduate, not because I'm super smart, but because my parents wouldn't let me work. So instead of work, I went to night school. Night school let me acquire a few extra hours in Oklahoma, and they said, hey, get out, you got enough, and I said, I'll see you later. So that was it. Growing up, I lived in a neighborhood that started off great, ended up not so great. My parents, my mom was a nurse, my dad was actually a janitor with the state of Oklahoma, and they just really instilled a good work ethic. They were really adamant about, I don't care what you do, but you're going to do something besides nothing, and you're going to be happy to do it. So I was. Beyond that, it was a pretty basic childhood. I had the little motor scooter and thought I was Evel Knievel. Broke my arms 3 times thinking I was Evel Knievel. Finally got the message a little bit later, actually. Today I won't get a motorcycle because of that correlation. I'm like, I didn't do too well on the scooter. The motorcycle's probably not the best move. And my wife, being a nurse, just like my mother, is pretty adamant that I do not get a motorcycle, but I want one. I really want one. But anyway, today I am the father of 4 children. I'm married to my wife now for approximately 3 years. My oldest daughter is on the edge of being a professional volleyball player. She's beginning the process of finding her agent and negotiating with international countries to go overseas. She just let me know last night, as a matter of fact, that I can't be the manager. So I'm a little disappointed about that. And I'm like, but I follow sports. And she's like, Dad, you follow no sports? I'm like, I follow your sports, kind of, whenever I know you're playing. She's like, not going to work out. So she won't let me do it. My 2 little ones at home are 7 and 3, and they're a handful. I try to make sure I really force education down their throats, you know, kind of like my mom and dad forced work down mine. I don't care what they do as long as they're educated and doing it. And I'm very, very adamant about it. Very adamant about it. I'm continuing my education through pursuing a CCIE that a friend of mine is going to be taking his very soon, so I'm kind of listening real close to see how bad it is for him. And I am going to go back to school as soon as I settle in Texas about, where I'm going to work. So that is Keith in a nutshell. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate it.